Welcome to the GameItall.com live podcast. My name is Lucas Grimm.
Hey, I'm Pina25.
Adelaris.
I'm Remnant.
And tonight is a special podcast. We're doing this a little bit earlier than usual. That's mainly because I'm not going to be around this week. So, what are we going to be talking about mainly this week?
All sorts of shit, mainly Nintendo.
Lots of Nintendo news. Nintendo had a giant drop happen. Big news on that one was the cult hit Fatal Frame, the cult hit series. That is going to be an eStore exclusive. I don't know how to feel about that. I'm actually a little bit mad.
The nice thing is we're actually getting it in North America. That's the nice thing. But I know where you're coming from, that you'd want a physical copy on the shelf.
Yes, I want my physical copy, especially since Europe is getting a very nice special edition, which kind of pisses me off because honestly, I probably would have actually binged for it.
Still good. I mean, it's just Europe.
Yeah, true.
Internet's a wonderful thing.
Oh, you could just get like a European copy and then just download the damn game.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Provided it's not region locked, pal.
Well, that's why you'd have to get a European copy of the console.
No, but he could just get like he could ship it over here and get those goodies inside the box, and then just download the game for the North American system.
So you basically buy the game twice plus shipping one of the copies.
Yeah,
So
but
that is a big problem right there. I don't think I can do that part.
well,
Yeah.
we can go fund you, Luke. We can go fund you, Grim. We'll just start a Kickstarter campaign and be like, he needs to get his freaking fatal frame on. Just give him some money.
Yeah, because I've been campaigning that game so hard.
Oh,
Like,
I know you have.
Made sure every we do a review from the crypt thing, which is a horror game release every October, and I made sure every year that there was at least one Fatal Frame game listed.
Yeah.
So this year, Fatal Frame 5 is coming out October 22nd in North America. It is an e-store exclusive, so I'm not sure how I feel about that. The good thing is that this is actually a little bit interesting, though, because it is an e-store exclusive. The game is actually going to be a free to start. Now, what that actually means is that the first two... whoa, what the hell? Okay, that was weird.
Well, think of it like Telltale Games, that the first episode is free, and then you can buy the rest of the season pass or buy each individual episode.
Yeah, pretty much. But the way this one's working in this case is it's going to be the prologue, chapter 1, and most of chapter 2 will be free to download. The rest of the game will be listed as a DLC.
Okay, so basically you can get a demo.
Yeah, pretty much a big
I was
demo.
just going to say that. It was very much akin to the days you could get demo disc from magazines. And it was always just the first portion of the game, just to see if you liked it.
Oh man, did you ever get that Zelda demo disc?
Yep, I did.
Like the GameCube? That was great.
Yeah, I still have it.
Yeah.
I miss the days of demo discs.
Oh yeah.
Now-
Well, old school PlayStation magazine. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now, another thing, I really want to promote these guys because they've actually been really pushing the Fatal Frame game, trying to get it released over here. Operation Zero. These guys, they're awesome. They have a Facebook campaign, Twitter campaigns. They have reached out to Nintendo. They did say that, or a Nintendo representative did say there is still a chance that a physical copy could be on its way. Now, if that is to be the case, it's just going to take more campaigning.
It
So
worked for
it's-
Xenoblade, so I don't
Yeah,
see
same thing with Xenoblade. They did this with Operation Rainfall. I
Yeah, that we
I'm
had.
not sure if they're actually part of the same crew, actually. But
I wouldn't be surprised.
They're
yeah,
trying the same thing, so it's pretty awesome.
yeah, so there is hope. It's just, and if you are a Fatal Frame fan, don't boycott the game. Pick it up, port it, or actually download it from the eShop. It's going to be worth it from all the reviews I've been hearing from Famitsu and other places. So this should be good. Like, this is going to be the Fatal Frame game we want.
So you need to get your dollar bills and go buy a Wii U then.
Yes,
There are
I
also
my-
lots of petitions out to do that. So
I don't own a Wii or a Wii U, so this could be one of the ones I missed. But oh well.
the Fatal Frame game, I said straight up, like, if they release Fatal Frame 5, I will find a way to get a Wii U. One way or another, I will buy the game and get a Wii U.
Well,
I was really hoping it was going to be pushed onto a disc so I could get the disc and then get the Wii U.
but you do know that it's not going to be discontinued.
That too.
That's the
Because
best
Fatal Frame
part.
games have a bad tendency of getting discontinued.
Yeah, frickin' Xenochronicles.
That too. So, we're going to move on from Fatal Frame.
Oh, and also there's new bundles coming. That's we're going to continue with that later.
Yes, we'll be continuing that later.
So there's the
but
way
first,
you
let's
get
talk about a awesome amiibo. The Mega Yarn Yoshi amiibo, which is a amiibo about yay big,
about 8-9 inches.
8-9 inches, and it's going to cost $40, and will launch on November 15th. It's twice the price of the standard
No.
size version.
Yeah, a little twice and a bit, yeah.
And it's also twice the size from what I've read. It just looks so adorable. I'm trying to get a picture and get this working on the Google Hangout app, but I'm probably not going to be able to find it before we move on. But it is an adorable little toy, pretty much, add-on to the Amiibo series. There
Yeah,
we
I
are.
got it. Yep, right there. It's so freaking adorable. It's a plushie Yoshi from the damn game, and I want one, but $40 is a lot of money for plushie Yoshi.
Is there any like major changes to this one?
It's a plushie Yoshi. I don't know.
It's just plushy.
It,
Oh, wait,
it's
no, here it is. When it comes out, you can tap the toy onto the gamepad and activate double Yoshi in the game.
big freaking Yoshi. That's bitchin'.
Yeah, so that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of interesting stuff with the amiibo stuff. Like I was really meh about it because like I compared it a lot to like the Disney Infinity or Skylanders when that first came out.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're at least having a lot of different games that are starting to take advantage of that kind of tech. So it's not too bad.
Yep. It's pretty awesome.
The only downside is like, what's the availability going to be like? Because they've been flat out horrible about that.
Yeah, I don't know about this one, but I know the triple pack that's coming out in September that has Duck Hunt and Mr. Game and Watch and something else is going to be very scarce.
Yeah.
So we'll see about that. We'll see about the Yoshi when that comes out in November. Oh, November.
There's a lot coming out in November.
That's when your money just goes disappearing in November.
Yeah, November's going to suck.
Yeah, fucking Fallout.
That's the big one, along with Rise of Tomb Raider,
COD.
Black Ops, so many other things.
Uh,
So let's move it on here. We're gonna have some new Wii U bundles coming out very soon, specifically for Star Fox Zero and Mario Tennis Ultra Smash.
But oh yeah,
Now that
I was reading the title.
now the uh, yeah, you just threw me off here now. Now, according to Nintendo, the Star Fox Zero will launch in North America and Europe on November 20th. So that's when we actually have the exact date of the game's launch as well. So that's great. And of course, Star Fox Zero is going to be Platinum Games' spin on the title too. So that's going to be very interesting. Uh,
Yeah, it's
and
it's Platinum's games making Star Fox, so with Miyamoto in the back end going, ta-da,
Yep.
pretty much it. He had his little story at E3 and went, "We're making Star Fox." So
Now, the other one, which is the Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, that will be coming holiday 2015. So there is no release date exactly on that.
It's starting to sound like they're pulling a little bit of a Street Fighter, where they're just saying like the name of the franchise and then just start adding words at the end.
So almost. What else do we have here? There will be a new combo pack for Super Mario Brothers U and Super Luigi U. That will go on sale on October 16th in North America. Suggested price being 69 or 59.99. And also,
Not too bad, actually.
Walmart will have an exclusive Super Mario Maker Wii U bundle, which will include the game, an idea book, and a 30th anniversary Mario Modern Color amiibo.
oh, that sucks. I'd want one of those.
That will be available on September 11th, and the estimated price is about $300.
Hey Grim, you want to buy my Wii U? So I can go buy that one.
That don't tempt me. It's,
give
Fatal
me,
Frame, man. It's Fatal Frame.
give me $295. You can have it.
Okay, I don't think I'd push it that far. But anyways, so let's see
Oh,
here.
and I'm really excited for Devil's Third on December 11th.
Yes, the Devil's Third looks like it's going to be great. I'd like to see more gameplay from it.
Yeah, they really haven't pushed much on it, but
Now, they released an entire list of what is coming out for the Nintendo consoles in the upcoming months before the end of the year. A lot of the big information is coming from for the Wii U games, we have Super Mario Maker coming out September 11th, Yoshi's Woolly World in October 16th, new combo packs, Fatal Frame, Devil's Third coming December 11th, Xenoblade Chronicles X December 4th,
Star Fox on November 20th.
Animal Crossing the Amiibo Festival.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
gonna cost
holiday.
you a fortune for that Animal Crossing. It's like $80 because each person needs a frickin' amiibo to play. Like it's like the most expensive Nintendo game you can buy. Mario Tennis Ultra Smash is
That's
launching at some
also
point.
holiday. Moving
Oh,
on to Nintendo 3DS, you have new Chibi Robo on October 9th, Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes
yep.
October 23rd, uh, Yokai Watch, which is Level 5's new game, that is November 6th, new Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, and a 3D version or
3DS.
3DS version of Shovel Knight, which will be actual physical. That also is coming to the Wii U and PS4 and Xbox One as well.
That's awesome. I'd
Did they?
love Shovel Knight on the 3DS.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Did they mention anything about the new open world Zelda they were working on, or is that still hush hush?
That is still hush hush at the moment.
Well, they hinted about it at E3.
Yeah.
It was pushed back. That's all we know about it. at this time.
And coming from reports, it looks like it's not going to be on the Wii U, but it's going to be on the NX.
I would hope so. I would really hope so because I mean I own most of every Zelda game that they released, and I've always been a fan of the series. The only reason I never played Skyward Sword is just because I didn't get a Wii or a Wii U. But other than that, if the next system is more graphics intensive and they actually try to compete with the other ones, then I would gladly pick one up.
Yeah, it's looking because they have a nice big chunky deal with AMD, so they're making their CPU and, well, they're essentially just going to be putting an APU into the system, into the next system.
Plus, it'll be a generation ahead of what Xbox and, well, I mean, theoretically, ahead of what Xbox.
Hopefully, yeah, that they're much more advanced than the PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah, because that'll ensure them, at least if it pans out that way and they have a decent price point.
Yep, and hopefully Nintendo releases around the same time that they release their next something, or something good happens.
Yeah, for sure.
But Nintendo wins.
Hopefully.
Nintendo needs a win.
Yeah.
Now, I'm actually going to jump ahead because we have a list going through. Another game that was just recently announced as well, Pokken Tournament, which is Pokemon crossed with Tekken, essentially.
I'm kind of excited for this, actually.
Yeah, this looks great, honestly.
It's pretty badass.
It went through its testing for arcades, and it will be brought over to Wii U worldwide. When was the release date?
Like, we've seen a lot of fan-made, like, unofficial Pokemon fighting games where it was a lot more interactive rather than just the traditional turn-based. And this one seems really cool because it's like basically fighter style playing the Pokemon.
Oh, exactly. It has characters like Lucario, Charizard, a bunch of others. Special note is like there's two different Pikachus. One is pretty much a Hiachi clone of Pikachu, or Pikachu version of Hiachi, I should say. And the other one is titled Pikachu Libre, which is a like Mexican fighter Pikachu.
So
maybe we'll wait for the game to come out before we make accusations.
So he's got a sombrero and some maracas, and he's eating tacos.
Oh, great, racist Pikachu.
Wow, that was.
But he's Mexican.
That was straight up racist, dude. No,
Okay.
he is Lucha Libre mask outfit. Does a lot of like aerial assault type combat. Now that is Pokken Tournament will be exclusive to the Wii U, of course, and that will be in spring 2016 is the release date.
I'm excited.
This should be really good. I'm actually very excited for it.
It's looking like Nintendo's taken 2 years, but it looks like the Wii U's finally gonna get some good shit.
Right before they kill it with the NX.
Well, it's a terrible selling failure, but it's a great system. I love it. I compare it to my freaking Dreamcast.
Yeah, that could be taken both ways.
Now, this game was announced at the Pokemon World Tournament, which was in Boston, Massachusetts this weekend. Now, we do have some more dire news about that event, which I'm sure everyone and their dog knows about by now.
Which is very shady as fuck.
But the Boston Police Department had arrested 2 armed men after allegedly threatening the event on various social media sites. Now, the police didn't release what was actually said on the social media sites or what was or where exactly it was in this case. But what happened is pretty much the quote was that they planned on killing the competition, and a lot of people brought this to the Pokemon Company's attention, which also brought the police involved, and they found the two people that wrote this, and when they did their raid, found knives, shells, a hunting rifle, and a shotgun.
Well, from what I saw in the picture they posted, it looked like a straight up AR assault rifle.
AR, well, yeah,
Yeah, it's
they
an
quoted it
AR-15.
as a hunting rifle, but it's pretty much an AR assault rifle.
If you're hunting bulletproof deers, apparently.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's
it,
fucked up.
it's very scary on this because you don't think about this on you don't think about this on anything really. You look at the various events that's recently happened, but you don't think about a Pokemon championship. It's just like
Yeah, like on top of being like just any convention, it's one that's very specifically geared for little children. Like there's nothing any of those kids would have done to have upset anybody really, to be deserving of anything like that.
no, it's just sick people that.
Yeah, but it's really fortunate that things just worked out, came together, and they were caught, and hopefully they get what's coming to them for that.
Yeah, 'cause
Agreed.
that's
Yeah,
just
because this is that very glad that the Boston Police Department did stop the event, or not stop the events, did stop the
and something from happening.
potential event. It's just scary because you never know what exactly is going to happen.
Well, yeah, they were able to respond to a threat, and take the right action. So good on the police down in Boston. Good on
Yep.
them. So all right, back to
Happy
better,
for Rainbow.
happier news. So Nintendo filed a patent for a diskless system. So we're going back to hopefully cartridges.
I doubt that. It's
No,
probably
no,
gonna be download only.
no. It's gonna be flash cartridges like the DS. Hopefully,
I'm kind of excited about that actually.
because CDs suck.
But what I want is like the old Super Nintendo cartridges back.
Fuck yeah,
Like
There was
big,
I
chunky.
need a opening to blow into to make it work cartridges.
that's only going to screw up your cartridge. But
you gotta blow harder.
before the X1 or the PS4 came out, there was a lot of speculation they would take the modern stance of a cartridge-based system where they would just use some kind of solid-state technology, because I mean that's becoming incredibly cheap, especially for their sizes, and obviously the Blu-ray won out in this case, but how long until optical media reaches its limits versus uh, electrical solid state can theoretically keep going on and on.
Well, yeah,
So-
because last week, it was 2 weeks ago, Samsung showed off their new SSD technology that they can do 16 terabytes on an SSD drive.
And that's like something. It was geared towards enterprise, but it will actually still be sellable on consumer base. Expensive as all hell.
Well,
still,
yeah,
but
but like we're in the early phases of it. In a couple years from now, this technology will be able to be mass produced for next to nothing.
yeah,
So you'll be able to have.
But even now, you can still get several gigs worth of solid state or even flash technology, but it's less than 50 cents a gig at this point, and each year it's like nosediving at this point because everybody's switching from hard drives for the most part. Games don't necessarily need like what a standard computer would use. Like obviously no games like 120 something gigs So they would instead have like a 40 gig solid state drive, just repackaged in the format of a cartridge or whatnot.
Or you could even put it on USB key and just
Yeah,
USB
the
3.
There's
yeah
some games that take up like 80, 90 gigs of data though.
Yeah.
yeah. Generally, those would be computer games, though, for PC, because they are capable of using all the extra sizes, like for 4K displays. Like current consoles can't display 4K, so they don't need textures of that size.
Yeah,
Uh,
that shit's
Really
good.
cool if they started doing it though.
yeah, 4K TVs are just starting to really catch on, but there's really no content for it, like in proportion, yet.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's like 5 shows on Netflix. That's
yeah.
it.
Taking it the other way, though, with the sizes of solid states or even just normal hard drives, I mean, they're already selling 6 and 8 terabyte hard drives now. Uh, I could also foresee the next console almost completely doing away with physical media, where you would just straight up download everything,
Yeah, pretty
or
much.
buy a little, like a Nintendo DS size cartridge. You put that in, it downloads everything to the hard drive, then it's all in there.
But yeah,
Maybe. Uh,
it's interesting to see.
so let's go to our final bit of Nintendo news.
But down with the diff.
It's
Oh, oh, this takes me back to 1990. What was it?
everyone remembers how great Nintendo's like TV shows were, right?
Uh,
Super Mario Brothers Super Show, The Legend of Zelda cartoon series.
I remember watching it, but even as a kid, I don't remember the word "great" coming to mind.
And of course, the god awful
uh,
movie.
1993.
To be fair, I actually looked at, like, as a kid, I did enjoy the movie for what it was, but not a couple of years ago, I actually saw somebody deconstruct the movie's story, and he was actually able to make it fit as a prequel to the original Mario game, which was, like, it definitely put the movie in a new light for me. Like, by no means as itself is a terrible movie, but it's definitely worth checking up, just the theory of the movie's prequel status to the Mario games. It would probably give you a new light on the story.
I just remembered the one time one of our other editors, Penovis, he brought that into class for game design, and we started watching it on break. The teacher came in, class was just about to start. He's like, this is a Super Mario Brothers movie? Yeah, we're not doing work today. We're going to watch this. So that's my fondest memory of that movie. But here's the thing. In general, it's just not a very good movie. But
Yeah.
and it's pretty much killed any chance of us ever seeing a Nintendo-based movie coming out in theaters. That may be changing. Now, Nintendo has now stated that they are going to change that policy and be more open with their games. In fact, Miyamoto had even said that because games and movies seem like similar mediums, people's natural expectation is what we want to take our games and turn them into movies. I've always felt that video games being an interactive medium and movies being a passive medium mean the two are quite different. As we look more broadly at what Nintendo's role as an entertainment company, we're starting to think more and more about how movies can fit with that. And we'll potentially be looking at things like movies in the future. So,
I'm sorry, I started a giggle fit. I can't stop.
okay.
Canada.
What happened?
I completely misheard Pantevis's name, and I started laughing about it.
Okay.
Once he starts, he don't stop ever.
Now,
Okay, I'm good.
so this comes off after a few months. A few months ago, we heard rumors of a Legend of Zelda TV show coming to Netflix, which was described as a Game of Thrones for family audience. Yeah, I don't see how that actually.
Yeah, like that's like oil and water. That doesn't necessarily mix too well.
So
No,
are you
exactly.
telling me they're gonna like permanently kill Bowser, or they're just gonna like permanently like slay Mario,
I
Oh,
think
no.
or
I think what they probably
Dumbass.
oh wrong game? So they're gonna like permanently like just execute Princess Zelda?
no I think that what they probably meant by that was obviously it would still be like the Zelda medieval fantasy sort of world, but it would be a lot more based on character development rather than just Link solving puzzles and and actual political exchanges between the different races that are there. Because most of these Zelda games don't really have that. Like, you just go from one region to another, and they all just sort of mind their own business about what goes on, and nobody really cares.
That you're chasing chickens.
I just had
Or the
a
chickens chase you.
I just had a vision of a movie that just completely consisted of Link shoving blocks left and right. Damn it! I went too far. Okay. Okay.
Basically, it'd be a live action Let's Play, basically.
So Link playing Minecraft.
I have to put a bomb here, and I have to put a. Darn it! The bomb exploded already. I have to go back over. Darn it! It exploded.
What am I doing?
He dies, and a fairy just wakes him up, and then like the ending credits, it's just fucking Navi. Like the text is scrolling up. Hey, listen. Hey, look, listen.
It's not over.
There's stuff at the end of the credits.
But yeah, I do understand the whole Game of Thrones, like really deeply building the characters, not killing everyone.
Or everybody's having these deep conversations, and then they're like, Link, what's your thought on this? Hi! What you doing? Hiya! Just completely unable to communicate normally.
Yep.
You know, I actually read a thing about that, how he was actually built so that you would make the conversations in your head.
Yeah.
Because, like, they always talk to you as if you had actually said something, so, like, you're supposed to fill in. So it's not that Link is mute, it's that Link is supposed to be you.
Yeah, a lot of JRPGs have that theology to it, or whatever you could call it. I mean, like, one that comes to mind, I think it was like Breath of Fire 3 was one of the earlier ones I played where I started to notice that in games that your main character doesn't say anything. Chrono from Chrono Trigger is another good example. Chrono himself never says anything, but his entire party talks all the time. So
They never shut up, even.
I guess.
It's
But
like
I mean,
it's like
I like the story, so talk away.
I think 7 might have been the first game that I played where the character actually, like, had conversations with people.
Final Fantasy II in the US, which is 4 in Japan, was the first Final Fantasy I ever played, and I was actually impressed that Cecil, right off the bat, had a personality.
That actually is the first one. I lied. I forgot
You
about that.
liar. How dare you?
I know I'm awful.
So, just moving on back to the Nintendo and movie deals here. There are some deals.
Oh yeah, that was a topic.
Yeah.
I'm really bad for that. I'm sorry.
So there are some bits of information that was leaked out during the Sony issue with the emails there, or Sony hack. Now, they apparently were in deep negotiations with Nintendo to acquire film rights for an animated Mario movie.
yeah, whenever Nintendo and Sony are talking,
Oh,
it
Mario?
usually goes bad.
Now, aside from that's true. Also, aside from that, Nintendo had just made a deal with Universal theme parks for rides and attractions based off the Nintendo properties. So we may even this may seems to, wow, this seems to be something that is actually going to happen in the near future. We're probably going to see a new Mario movie, Legend of Zelda movie, or hell, even maybe a Metroid movie.
I would argue though, like this would be hypothetical, but the best team up would be Nintendo and Disney, because Disney very much excels at just a wide variety of kid-friendly stuff while still maintaining an adult audience. So like their animation studio could definitely import most of Nintendo's primary stuff,
Yeah.
and they're not afraid to push up the age limit a little bit. Like the first Pirate Carrots and the Beans was their first R-rated movie they ever made, and it sold like hotcakes. So obviously they can handle darker themes too, like the Metroid series and stuff.
Was PG-13 though, Pirates.
I think the later ones were. Well, I'm pretty sure the first one.
First one was PG-13. The only thing that ever got a warning was the blood at the end, but
Yeah, that was.
it was significantly less that it didn't give them a higher rating. But
and
PG-13.
And even then, at this point, like, even just a little bit of blood is so culturally ingrained that nobody cares. I mean, the kid will see it by the time.
Well, yeah, you see blood on TV, like.
Yeah, there's worse TV shows than there are games. So.
Oh yeah.
So, let's. So we're done with Nintendo finally. Let's talk a little bit about Call of Duty Black Ops 3 beta.
Oh yay!
Oh yay! You sound so enthused.
No, I'm completely happy with Black Ops. It looks amazing. I thought we were going to talk about the next something else.
No, we're going to leave that for a little bit here.
That's coming up, but yeah.
Talk about something good before we get into some really shitty
Treyarch pulling it off, like really pulling it off.
Yeah. I was actually very happy. Like when the beta was open earlier this weekend, I downloaded it right away and jumped in. I was very impressed with what I saw. The free running, the jetpacks, like everything that you had that like helped your movements and everything just made the game feel so much more fluid.
Yeah, and I like I had mentioned before, I loved the fact that it still feels like a Black Ops game. The weapons are familiar. The basic ground movement is familiar as well, but the introduction of a Z-axis and being able to wall run and being able to rocket jump definitely makes it more of a challenge. And I believe from what I was playing, it was actually kind of an interesting way to get rid of people who quote unquote camp all the time, because if somebody's sitting in a corner and just aiming straight down an area,
yeah,
at least in the older games, it's just a linear axis. They just had to tilt left and right. But now, like, let's say somebody's coming up from the upper corner instead, they got to realign anyways, which leaves them a whole lot more vulnerable. Like, I consider myself a decent player. I'm not great. I'm not, all that, but it's not too often that I'll score on the lower rank of matches, and I definitely found myself there quite a lot with this game. So it's an interesting learning curve. It's not that the game is more difficult. It's just they managed to change enough that the mechanics are the same but different at the same time.
I found
it was really cool though. I liked it.
I found, like, because of the movements, I was able to do a lot more. Like, there was, the shotgun became my friend. I was one of those douchebags that I would wall run, jump over you, shot you in the top of the head, keep running, slide, shoot.
I hate people like you.
I was one of those douchebags. I'd never find that kind of playstyle fun. This game made that fun. Yeah. It's just because it's so fluid that I was able to just run through the pack, bang, 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 jump, bang, just keep going.
I also noticed too that the like the core gameplay, which is like considered normal mode for multiplayer, uh, you seem to have quite a bit less health than the previous games too, which I'm okay with because I used to play hardcore almost consistently, which means like most weapons were one-shot kills. So being able to rely on only just a few shots to know you could take someone down was definitely a lot more fun for me anyways, rather than what I felt with Advanced Warfare, where it would take almost 2 clips to get someone down, it felt utterly ridiculous, and I lost interest in that multiplayer.
Yeah. Yep. So good on them. It looks like they fixed a ton of shit.
Yeah.
And it just made general improvements to the overall what COD is.
Yeah, and almost every traditional gameplay mode came back, especially uh, the team deathmatch and domination were by far the two most obvious. You can actually see the percentage of how many people playing it now.
Mm-hmm.
But they introduced a new one where there's a. It's kind of an interesting take on capture the flag, but instead of a flag, you got a robot that tries to make his way to the other end. He's indestructible in itself, but you can damage him enough that he needs a reboot cycle. And the point is that you got to try to protect that robot until he reaches the enemy base. And if he makes it there, you win, and if he doesn't, they get the point. It's a bit different because it actively encourages one team to be really aggressive and try to push forward, or it encourages the defending team to just sit there and camp because they don't need to run because everybody's coming at them. So it's definitely I found it to be fun, especially if you played with a light machine gun. You just hunker down and wait for somebody to come through.
Yeah.
One thing I wish I would have been able to see was this game's version of Ground War, which in Black Ops 2 was an 18-player match. And it was just an absolute clusterfuck, and I loved it because there was everybody dying constantly all the time.
Did they have that in Advanced Warfare?
I don't recall seeing it there, but I'm pretty sure when the final game comes out, some formation would be available because I noticed that when you have the ability to create a party, you got a cap of 18 players.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure when the full game comes out, it'll be available.
It'll have it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
One thing I was happy about, Uplink returned. Uplink was actually one of my favorite modes in Advanced Warfare, where it was pretty much football.
Yeah, it's the one I didn't get to try because the game ran very smooth up until Saturday, and I guess they patched something in, and something didn't go well anymore on server side. So for Saturday and Sunday, the game became unplayable to me because I was pinging over 400 for no reason.
Yeah, I had the same problem.
Apparently, they fixed it. You said though, for the duration of the rest of the.
Yeah, because it was when you were playing it today, it was running pretty smoothly.
Okay.
Yeah, last night was just god awful. But yeah, Uplink, which is basically a football game, it plays so much better now. Like it played really good in Advanced Warfare, but now in the new Black Ops 3 modes where you can wall run and really do a lot more with mobility. It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's gonna be my main mode when it comes out.
But yeah, so really.
Actually, before I move on, what was your opinion on the specialist classes?
I only really got to try a couple. I tried God, I wish I remembered their names. Sparrow was the one that I had.
Yeah, that was like the sniper class with the bow and arrow.
Oh my god, that bow and arrow.
I had some fun with that, but I found that it was very peculiar. You actually had to hit dead on, so even if it exploded, it rarely ever killed anybody just from the concussion.
Unless somebody already hit them down pretty bad.
Yeah,
but
yeah. I found that if you took the the one with the grenade launcher. I think her name was Battery.
Yes.
That grenade launcher, very very
She-
satisfying.
She was really good too because you had either the grenade launcher or the shield.
The
that would
kinetic
just-
armor, yeah.
Yeah.
And it basically made you temporarily immune to bullet damage, except for your head. Concussive damage or fall damage would still kill you, but it for a brief moment, it kind of like gave you like a tank mode almost.
Yeah.
And the last one I did try was the main one with the guy with the 2 grenade
The
sticks.
gravity spikes. I think his name
Spikes.
was Ruin.
I had a hard as hell time to use those, but in general, he
it's-
played pretty nice.
Yeah, it's very close range because his secondary ability is to run really fast. So he's definitely the type of character if you play shotgun class with, because he's just made to be in your face compared to other classes.
So yeah. Grenade launcher.
Yeah,
Grenade launcher does seem the way to go, but yeah, a lot of people wanted the bow and arrow class. That was great.
Because bow and arrow is just awesome all the time. So
and even then, that was only really half the classes. The other half, you had to really grind to get to them. But I mean, you just don't have enough time in a week. And
yeah.
there was even one that even if you maxed out all the characters, there was still a classified one that they purposely didn't unlock. So
Yeah, they were like, "Hey, this guy's like going to be right here
Wait,
when the
waiting
game
for you
comes
once you
out.
buy the game."
yeah, there was a lot of weapons like that too. Like,
Yeah.
almost half the weapons were still classified. So I'm really excited when the game comes out and just to play through it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna coerce Rem to get it too because we're mutually bad influences.
Now let's move on to something not as awesome at this point. Metal
Ugh.
Gear Solid 5. I'm torn on this, mainly because of everything that's happened with Konami and Kojima. But
Those-
everything all the reviews started coming out today, and so far it's nothing short of amazing for single player. However, multiplayer hasn't been fully confirmed exactly how that will be played, except for a couple things. The game is going to be heavily based on microtrans actions, and the multiplayer mode called Forward Operating Base, or FOB mode,
Fact.
you'll be attacking other people's bases and try to take over their land. Now, the thing is, in order to get that, you need to spend in-game currency, which you can earn in-game or in the real world, to start creating your base and building it up.
Basically,
I think that was the information that Konami released.
yeah, that sounds a lot to me like a pay-to-win in multiplayer, which I'm completely against.
Oh, it's the worst stupid thing. So you need essentially Konami money.
Yeah.
More or less, and a lot of people are not happy about that. I saw a GameSpot's review for when that came out, and they gave the game a perfect 10. Then they found out a little more about the multiplayer component, and immediately you can tell that the person that was writing it just kind of went, "Oh, well, shit."
Yeah, that basically just shit in the soup right there. It's almost it's almost unreal after everything that Konami's been doing revolving around the game that they would turn around and start shitting on the fan base like that.
Yeah, essentially they've taken a backhoe and just digging themselves a bigger hole.
Yeah.
Like,
Now, there is a couple things. Apparently, your first base, the mother base, and some of the sub-platforms will be available when the game launches, so you won't have to put coins on it. Expanding the base to make it bigger and more difficult for people to attack you on, that will require coins. And to get coins, you either have to pay or complete missions in single player.
Yeah, and that's what I'm fairly against, because it basically makes the game straight up unfair versus someone who can afford the coins. And a lot of gamers like us who are quite selective about what games we get because of budget constraints.
But
And
yeah,
I solemnly believe that if it's anything multiplayer, you need an even playing field. Uh, like I brought this exact same example up last week with League of Legends. Everybody's on the same playing field with all the characters. If you want to buy skins, that's entirely up to you. That doesn't change how people affect the gameplay.
Yeah.
yep.
And you can even spend money to save yourself time and buy characters with real money, but you still have to have the skill to play them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um, Another actually halfway decent example that I think of, it's not multiplayer, but Plants vs. Zombies 2.
Yeah.
It can get a little bit into the why do I have to pay so much money for this to save myself hours and hours and hours of hoping to find gems to purchase things, but at the same time, like, yeah, the plants make some levels easier, but you can do the entire game without. And I think that's really important for games with DLC, is that it's
Yeah.
not a play to win, or pay to finish. It's you can do this. You can also pay to make it easier on you, but
But why would you pay for it? Like, aren't you playing the game to have a good experience? Like, why would you pay to just pass everything? It's just like, I'm playing the damn game because I want to play the game.
yeah,
It's the same mindset for something like what most mobile games do, like Castle Crasher, not Castle Crashers,
All those
shit.
stupid.
Castle Storm.
Stuff like that. Yeah. Oh my god, I'm just completely blanking out. Like I have the visual image of the game and I forgot the names. The one that plays like from the company King, Candy Crush.
Yeah.
That's another one. Like you can only play so much, and then it charges you to play more. Which
Or you can wait.
yeah, I actually just recently encountered this with the Final Fantasy Triple Triad.
I was just about to say Triple Triad.
I played about 15 minutes, and then like, all right, I gotta wait 2.5 hours before I can play more shit. Which, but by all means, I love playing it, but that seems like a really, really low stamina bar for a game like that, especially when the matches can go
Blow
so
through
fast.
those 5 crystals like that.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, thank you, Square. Thank you.
yeah.
But it's still fun, so...
Yeah, so I would still recommend it as a game that you would play if you have to go shit.
And you still have time to get Final Fantasy for free.
Yes,
You'll have like 5 days.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Or you could be like me and own them all on all of the mobile devices already.
all
So-
the games.
Let's move on to our last news segment here.
it's all about the music.
Which is actually going to move on to our little bit of a bigger conversation here.
What?
Probably not going to be too much longer on this, honestly. So, Rock Band, Rocksmith, and Guitar Hero. We're going to have a music war this year.
So it's 2007 all over again.
2007 all over again.
Plus Rocksmith.
Now, there's a couple things, especially about Rock Band, that I want to mention. The Rock Band standalone copy is going to be more expensive on the Xbox One than it is on the PS4. Now, the reason why on this is actually because of the hardware issues. Rock Band, they wanted to push that if you had your old instruments, you didn't have to buy any new ones. Luckily, on the PS4, that is the case. You don't have to do anything different. Your old gear will work on the new PS4 version.
Because Microsoft was using RF.
The Xbox One, which will be priced at around $80, will require a special adapter, in this case, that will use the 360 guitars and drum sets, and will support up to 4 controllers simultaneously, and will also work with a variety of third-party instruments. Now, it does require that to run the game. So that will be added or that's the reason why it will be $20 more in this case. Uh, so if you're looking to get a better deal, hopefully you picked up the PlayStation versions earlier then, because you'll be spending a little bit more on the Rock Band 4 Xbox One.
Or just go buy the new equipment.
Or just go buy the new equipment, which you can buy the game and guitar for $130, or the game, guitar, and drum set for $250.
Because how many people still have their...
I still have them, but they didn't last long with me. They're kind of busted up.
Yeah. Mine are in the basement. They're probably in bad condition now.
So just go buy the new stuff. People have had yard sales and sold that shit left and right.
Now, aside from that, now Rocksmith 2014 is the only Rocksmith that we're getting this year. So that was released on Xbox One and PS4 earlier this year. And
I think that PC has a version of it too, don't they?
yeah,
Yes.
PC had it when the game originally launched.
Yeah, and then they launched the
2014.
second generation one also.
Yeah, so this is the second generation of that one. So nothing's really changed on that. DLC is still coming out for it constantly, which is awesome. But for Guitar Hero and Rock Band,
Some very awesome music.
yeah, we have some decent tunes coming from this one here. Just to list off a few, here's what they have for Rock Band 4. Just once again, name off some of the big ones. Aerosmith, Toys in the Attic, Arctic Monkeys, Arabella.
Four Non-Blondes.
Well, say that again.
Four Non-Blondes, freaking What's Up?
Okay.
You were
Avenged
singing it the
Sevenfold,
other
Hail to the
day.
King, Disturbed, Prayer, Dream Theater, Metropolis Part 1,
Yes.
Fallout Boy, Centuries, Foo Fighters, The Feast and the Famine, Judas Priest, Hearts of Valhalla, Heaven's Basement, I Am Electric. The list does keep going on here.
Oh, it's
At
ridiculous.
least, looks like there's at least almost 60 plus, anyways, that's in this list. We will have that up on the site later as well. Oh, here's another big one. This one, because this one you wouldn't normally see. The Proto Men, Light Up the Night. I'm more surprised just to see the Proto Men up on that list. They seem like a band that not a whole lot of people would have on there. Meanwhile,
They sound like a cover for a Mega Man band.
well, they are pretty much.
Okay, well that makes sense.
Most of their songs are somewhat Mega Man inspired.
Okay.
So
That's
it's
cool.
just they do have a bit more like stuff.
Yeah. And then for Guitar Hero, it's looking pretty awesome also.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Guitar Hero, I'm noticing that it's a lot more diverse. So we have Alice in Chains, Anthrax,
Alt J,
Alt J,
American Authors, Band
Blink
of Skulls,
Rock Show, Bob Dylan, Boston, Broken Bells, Leave It Alone, Brutal Mars is in there.
Lazy Song, Bullet for my Bullet for my
Valentine.
Valentine, not Vampire.
Bullet for Your Vampire.
Yes. I need some freaking silver bullets. Okay.
We have Ed Sheeran for
Saw some
Sing.
Green Day, Rolling Stones, Tenacious D,
Yeah, the
Frickin' tribute. Come
Rage
on.
Against the Machine.
Yeah.
like the band list it's a good set list. It's definitely like not bad. It's more diverse than Rock Band 4 is what I'm seeing.
But that's a good thing. I like
Rock
it.
Band 4, the most diverse I see it, like I see a few pop songs coming up. Specifically, one being Uptown Funk by Mark Robinson and Bruno Mars, which I'm wondering how is that going to play on Rock Band?
Skrillex, how is that gonna play?
How is that going to play on Guitar Hero? Yes, Skrillex is going to be on Guitar Hero. It's one of those things, like, the list is very interesting just to look at both of them.
I
If
know.
if you could recommend, like, if most people only be able to really afford one of the three titles, which one do you think you would recommend?
I would probably recommend Guitar Hero Live, just because there's a couple of different things here.
I would
You have,
still. Oh, sorry. I didn't think you were
you
done.
have your new controller, which is a 6-button controller, 3 on top, 3 on bottom. That's much more to do chords. So that's going to be like straight up. First off, that's already what a Guitar Hero kind of or a guitar player wants. Aside from that, the new live feature, depending on how that is played, that is going to be interesting to see how that will be portrayed. Um, but the big part is the Guitar Hero TV. That is a big part that's making me think that that is probably going to win out of those ones. And that's Guitar Hero TV. The whole concept on that one is that it'll be kind of like a streaming service, like similar to like Sirius FM and stuff like that, where you choose a radio station, the songs will start playing, and you can jump in and start playing any song. You're limited to what's currently playing on a radio station, or you can buy specific songs.
Yeah.
So it's a new feature. It looks like it may work, but
It's a bizarro karaoke kind of thing.
It's one of those things that if it does work, it's going to be really, really freaking amazing. But if it doesn't work, it's going to ruin the entire game.
exactly. That's
And we
exactly
could,
what's going to be.
yeah, and then the music genre could just flop again.
Personally, I would still recommend Rocksmith, just for the fact
Because it's real.
because you're actually using and learning a real guitar. And I would say, like, with the amount of practice you would have to put in any of the games anyways, that would be the most practical of the bunch.
I 100% agree with you. Like, my guitar is right there, by the way,
And
Rocksmith. But
I
that,
didn't have a guitar back there.
but the like Rocksmith, you play it, you learn it, and you can play anything from that point.
yeah, and the best part is when you buy the big boxed edition, you actually get a real physical guitar that you can plug into an amp and you're good to go.
Yeah. So once again,
The camera does not show it.
yeah, it does. I see it right on my
I
screen.
see it.
Your camera doesn't show it.
So doing drugs, people.
But anyway, but if I was to choose between
Oh, now I see it.
Rock
My
Guitar
screen-
Hero,
Nice.
then yes, I choose Guitar Hero. The only thing is with Rock Band, the big push on that is that all your old DLC, all your old instruments will work. So that is going to be a big selling point. Like that's people have an entire library of Rock Band game songs.
DLC, yeah, and I do know a ton of people that have a ton of DLC in their accounts.
Plus,
So
plus, most of them are completely discontinued, so you can't buy them back at this point.
yeah,
Exactly.
because they completely closed down the stores and got rid of all the DLC on the stores. So
Yeah, that's the part that I'm wondering. Like the ones that did get discontinued, are they going to be available for the people that want to re-download them?
yeah, really.
I don't think so, because they would have to make new licenses for them. So the people that already have them could probably could keep them, but to get them back on the stores, they would legally need to go find licenses for all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Activision and EA were paying a shitload of money in licensing fees.
Yeah.
Which is more why I'm agreeing with Guitar Hero at this point, because as Revlin said, if you get this right, it's going to be amazing. And this is going to be a way that you don't have to pay DLC. You're
Mhm.
going to have your whole library. Mind you don't have much control over the library, but it will be there.
It's
So,
essentially
and new songs will just keep coming in.
it's essentially the free version of Spotify.
Yeah, more or less.
So,
And like that's fine. That it works. Like if it works, it's going to work well. And if it doesn't, then it's just going to ruin the rest of the experience.
It'll flop so very hard if it doesn't do well.
yeah.
Especially where your old DLC for Guitar Hero will not work, mainly because you're using a completely new hardware. So this is, once again, you gotta make sure it works, or else it's going to cause so much more problems.
Yeah. Well,
It could, it could also bring in like a new era of gaming, though. Like I know it already kind of exists with the Crypt of the Necro Dancer, I think it is, where you can actually import songs and based on the beats to the song is how you play the game.
Audio services like that. You could put it in any MP3
any song, yeah.
and it'll put the wave format you play through.
Yeah. Now imagine that, but with a legitimate like platformer. An example I'm going to bring up real quick, just because I've been playing, is Rayman.
Rayman
good one.
Legends, yeah.
I've got Legends, and the end song of each level, how it is perfectly timed with the music. Imagine that, but with any song in your library. That's the kind of potential that this technology has.
That would be amazing to see, like more
Awesome.
more various games. But yeah, definitely that sort of platformer does suit well with not necessarily random generated, but like procedurally generated based on what MP3 or whatever you upload to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And so if this does well, it could bring in a whole new era of gaming genre. But if it flops,
Excuse me.
it's game over, man.
Yeah, it's gonna piss off people.
So,
If
oh, go ahead.
Cat's so concerned
yeah,
right now.
if there was something that's currently not quite in there for the music game, like throughout all of them, what would you like to see that's not currently there?
Say that one more time.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, like but between the like Rocksmith and Guitar Hero and like other video game based around music, what would you like to see added to it that's not already there?
I would really like to see more of a blending, because it always strikes me when there's a good soundtrack and it's timed right in the games. Like,
Yeah.
I saw a post on Facebook at the beginning of Destiny. The first level is the best because, you have the chords swelling up just before something drops on you. You've got all of these audio and visual clues that are put together perfectly that aren't there in the later levels.
Yeah.
And it always strikes me in games that where it's not just a constant song in the background. I love Zelda. I love it to death. But the music gets so repetitive and there's no audiovisual cues. And that's something that the game either has that, but seems to be lacking like the storyline or the depth of the game, or it doesn't have that and has the depth. I'd love to see more of a blending of that, just
Yep.
because it can make or break a game.
Yeah, pretty much.
And like, I mean, I'm not a game designer, so I have no idea of any kind of new thing you can put in games. It's one of the reasons I'm excited to see this next gen Nintendo, because he said it's new, it's something different again, which Nintendo's always been good about, but I can't think of what it would be at all. Like, to me, everything's been done. It's just things could be done better. Things could be mixed together, and that pot could be so much sweeter.
What about you, Graham?
I actually don't have much to add in on this conversation here. With
Yeah.
music and games, there's so much that can be Well, pretty much like you said, it's you have to integrate it much better. There's not much more that you can do with it in this case.
Yeah.
You can have levels like Rayman Legends where you have like Black Betty while you're running through the level and running to the tune, but that's pretty much like the end of how to integrate a song to it. I'm sure people are trying to find different ways, and that'll be great, but I
Dynamic
honestly
music
don't know
is
how to add into that conversation, really.
Yeah, add more depth to the experience.
dynamic music is, from what I can tell, like throughout the generations, has been really hard to implement. But I think the first time I ever noticed it was from Super Mario World, where the music changes when you jumped on Yoshi, but kept its timing. So
Yeah.
you were playing normal, and as soon as you got on Yoshi, you could hear bongos, but it matched perfectly with the music, whether you jumped on or off. So that, like, obviously it's evolved a lot since then. But personally, like, what I would see is a little bit more option in peripherals for like the rock bands and stuff. I mean, we do have, like a janky little drum set for that, and what was it, Rock Band and Guitar Hero. But I would like to see something that, for example, like a drum version of Rocksmith. That's just something a little bit more elaborate than four little pads and a kickstand, without it costing too much.
I'm
It'd
sorry.
be very difficult to pull that one off,
The
though.
moment you said that, all I could think of was Donkey Konga.
Oh yeah, that was.
Which, I don't care what you guys say, that was a fantastic game. I played that game for
great.
Oh,
hours.
yeah, they gave you frickin' bongos for the GameCube. Come on.
Exactly. And the little hack where instead of clapping, you just tap the side of the bongo so you can keep your rhythm better. Man, Donkey Konga was that for you, Eddie.
No, I used to play actual drums back in my teenage years, like the full heavy metal double bass
Nice.
20-30 piece set, but I lost access to it quite a years back for some reasons. And I've always wanted to play something like that, but trying to pick up a drum set nowadays at a music store, you're looking at about $3,000 just for an electronic set, and way higher for an actual set.
Yeah.
So, like, if they could make like a cheap and it doesn't have to be dynamic like the electronic ones are, but something a little bit better than what Rock Band made would be cool to see.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're going to have to cut this conversation off at this point because we are running a little bit late.
That's all I have to say.
So before we leave the podcast, of course, got to go through the rest of the information for the new games coming out this week, or well, next week really. So September 1st, week of September 1st, we have Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, Mad Max, Danganronpa, another episode, Ultra Despair Girls. I know Penvis is very excited for that one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the Danganronpa series. I'll get into that some other time.
Who
It is actually a
makes
good series. We also have a mellow. I'm not saying that one right. That was a free to vote game, which sadly lost out. I was really excited for that one. It was going to be on the PlayStation Plus. It's at 30% off discount, so that's going to be great. Also have Nobunaga's Ambition, the latest in that long-running series, and Broken Sword 5 for the PS4 and Xbox One. That is our major releases for next week. Of course, I will be writing down some more as we go on with the website.
Mm-hmm.
Although I missed the last couple weeks for the site for new game releases. That actually upsetted me, so I'm going to get that, get everything running through once again. Aside from that, what are we playing this week, guys?
Remnant has actually just finished downloading Rocket League, so we can definitely play some of that live sometime.
I did. I found myself a $20 PlayStation card that I didn't realize I had, and then
But that's the best part, finding shit that you forgot that you had.
so that's installed. If y'all want to play that sometime.
That sounds good. Probably won't be this week though for me on this one, because my Twitch schedule will be different this week.
It won't be me neither because I'm still last gen, so screw you all.
Give up the times.
Upgrade your fucking Neanderthal.
I need a job.
Get one, you bum.
So are you playing, Addy?
Still mostly playing a lot of League of Legends with Rem. We seem to have a lot of fun recently with Aram on that. Win or lose.
Not
Mostly win.
caring about ARAM at all.
But now that we got another new game to toy around with, I'm pretty sure a little bit later this week we're definitely going to play around with that.
Okay. Now, as I mentioned, my Twitch cast is going to be different this week. But after this, my copy of Dishonored is going to be unlocked. So that is going to be. I'm going to Twitch that for a little bit tonight.
What do you mean unlocked?
I bought it because it was. There was a deal going on where it was half off for the definitive edition for PS4.
Yeah, if you
And
bought,
that's
if you already
if you
had.
had it downloaded digitally on PS3. Luckily, it was a free-to-play. It was a free
PlayStation
title
Plus.
for PlayStation Plus, so it unlocked that for everyone.
Oh, loopholes.
Loopholes. So that just got finished preloading. It's unlocked at my time, 1 o'clock in the morning, which is in another 10 minutes.
9.
9 minutes. We'll shut up.
Because he's like, I gotta play my game. I gotta go stab some people.
I mean, come on. I gotta be a maniac and just like
No,
kill
no,
everybody.
no, no.
Maniac, maniac.
Kill the one guy.
Horrible. And tomorrow I am going to try to Twitch until dawn, and probably do that again on Saturday as well.
I'm going to try to watch that because seeing you panic is just really fun.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Especially the reviews have come out for it. So far, everyone
I've heard all the good things about it, yeah.
they either loved it or they loved it because they hated it.
It's a cheesy horror film.
Yeah, straight up cheesy B-movie slasher. I have to play through it. I mean, it sounds great to me.
Yeah.
And it sounds perfect for a Twitch.
Yeah. Late night, going, oh my god!
Late night Twitch, getting like scared shitless, and then making decisions, and then coming back and making more decisions and failing even harder.
Yeah, and then you die, and you're like, oh my god.
I make decisions. They're just always bad, but I make them.
Exactly.
Fair.
All right.
Okay, so that is our Twitch, or not our Twitch.
No,
Podcast of the night.
this is not Twitch.
Come on,
It's the YouTubes.
it's the YouTubes.
Close enough.
All of them?
We have all the YouTubes. All your YouTubes belong to us.
Facebooks. They all belong to us.
The Facebooks, the Twitters, the Tumblrs. Anyways, this is so that is our podcast for the night. You can visit us at the site. Links in the description below. And make sure you like and share our podcast here.
Yeah,
And subscribe to our channel.
Leave us some comments.
Leave us some comments. Let us know what we did.
What
Are
we
you a
did
bunch of
wrong.
idiots?
What have you done?
What have you done? He's got a kitty.
Open the floodgates. Come on.
But yeah, so yeah, we cool. So we'll be back next week at our regular scheduled time.
Yep.
All right. And so from the rest of us, I am Lucas Grimm.
Hey, I'm Pina25.
Adelaris.
And I'm Remnant.
And thank you for watching.